What was the message I got about what was good and bad when I was growing up? Old conditioning of what it means to be a good girl comes out of nowhere, unconsciously beating yourself up, putting yourself down, criticizing yourself, sabotages the confidence and success of the women that I work with. But let's talk about some of the ways that you can start to work with it and grow. Welcome to the She Speaks to Inspire podcast. I'm your host, Julia Kraft, your authentic expression mentor and public speaking coach. So let's dive in. Welcome back to the She Speaks to Inspire podcast. I'm your host, Julia Kraft, the founder of Speak to Inspire Coaching. Today, we're talking about the cost of being the good girl. I don't know if you think about yourself as the good girl, but it's really common that old conditioning of what it means to be a good girl comes out of nowhere unconsciously and sabotages the confidence and success of the women that I work with. So let's talk about it. Good girl conditioning flies under the radar. You probably aren't aware of it. People don't necessarily know what they're seeing in you, but it underneath is running the show. Because the idea of good versus bad was conditioned very early in you, very early in all of us. Think back. What was the message I got about what was good and bad when I was growing up? Specifically, what were the messages I got about good and bad expression? How am I supposed to present myself? How am I supposed to communicate? How am I supposed to express when I have an idea or a feeling? I promise you, you were conditioned around this. Whether it was direct, like your mother told you to keep your voice down, or it was very indirect and you just got the download from how you saw your parents, your caregivers, the people around you act and respond. I definitely got the download. I had a client just recently that really resonated with my personal experience, that she was talking about her mother was the type that always had pearls on and always wore a tailored suit, even just to like go to the grocery store. Really high standards and this strong conditioning around being put together. I definitely got a similar download. Being a good woman and even just a good person meant always presenting yourself very, very well, very put together, and very calm. Never a hair out of place, never an emotion out of place. As you grow older, this might look like the mindset of perfectionism, which sounds in your own mind something like, I really need to get better at things. I need to improve, like a big drive to improve. And actually, a drive towards personal growth can actually be from, old good girl stuff. Even though it's great to grow and improve and learn new things, right? If it can get to a point where it's driving you in a way that you're never living up to the inner standards. So that becomes really stressful and anxiety provoking because it's coupled with beating yourself up, putting yourself down, criticizing yourself, that you never lived up to whatever standard is in your mind. Physically, I'll see women with eyes that are really big, like sort of bugged out when they have this running, because they're really hyper attentive. Or in therapy, that we would call this hyper vigilant. Vigilant to, I have to be learning, vigilant to, am I getting the permission and affirmation that I need? Because I'm looking for, am I doing well? Big eyes, vigilant for the response from others, because it really matters what the response from others is. This is often coupled with inner experiences of anxiety, heart racing, sleeplessness, hyperactivity, or fidgeting. The good girl conditioning puts you into a state of being where there's always something not quite right. I always need to be working towards an ideal. Is this making sense? Are you with me on this? Maybe you're seeing yourself in this and maybe you're not. But I hope that for the women out there that need to hear this, like I have needed to hear this over the years, I hope it's landing with you. Why do we end up with this good girl conditioning? I mean, that is a big question because each woman is different, each family is different, each culture is different. But I will say that you can boil it down to, when we're children, we learn black and white thinking. Black and white. Don't touch a hot stove. Do say please and thank you. Don't cross the street without looking both ways. It's clear black and white thinking of one thing is good and one thing is bad. And you're going to get praised for doing the good thing, and you're going to get punished or criticized for doing the bad thing. The child's brain is built for that up to a certain age. And I'm not a neuroscientist or childhood development expert or anything, but I have learned about this. There's a certain age where the child's brain, just physiologically, can take on a little bit more complexity. But at the time that we're all learning like a lot about the world, especially about how to relate and communicate with each other, it's a very black and white kind of time. Now, we're all meant to grow out of that black and white thinking, and over time, through relationships and experiences, learn that life is pretty much a gray zone, right? It's everything in between. It's gray. There's very little black and white in life, right? But I would say it's pretty hard to get there, to like really understand that there's a gray zone. I think there's always a part of us that gets left behind. It's often called the inner child, right? That gets left behind in the black and white thinking and is still afraid of punishment and seeking reward, which then leads us all to have unconscious standards of perfection in the back of your mind. They're unconscious, like you didn't choose them. And you're not even probably aware that they're running the show. These are often inherited, right? Like you didn't choose them, they were the download from the people that you grew up with. As well as those unconscious standards of perfection might be a reaction to what you grew up with, that you're unconsciously seeking some sort of safety that you didn't have when you were growing up. If everything was really chaotic when you were growing up, maybe now your unconscious standard of perfection is everything has to be very orderly and calm and clear, and there can't be a hair out of place. Maybe that is the reaction to a very chaotic and messy childhood. We all have a different way of handling it, right? And here we are as adults faced with a speaking opportunity. And there's that inner critic that has all these standards of perfection that come up in the background that generate anxiety and loop around in your head, sabotaging all your expertise and knowledge and this great opportunity to speak. What can you do about it? I hear you. There's no quick fix, right? For good girl syndrome, for perfectionism, there's no quick fix. But let's talk about some of the ways that you can start to work with it and grow. Number one, connect with your personal, present moment desires and passions. What do I mean? It can be really simple or it can be pretty deep. A really simple example of a present moment desire is right now I need a glass of water. I'm thirsty. Right now I need to go to the bathroom. Right now I need to pause and take a breath. Present moment desire, or you could call it a need. How many times have you sacrificed a present moment desire or need in order to be the good girl, right? Acknowledging what your present moment desires and needs are is a huge first step to working with the good girl mentality. And then what I mean by present moment passions, maybe it wasn't okay for you to be really artistic when you were young, or you have a idea that the good girl isn't too passionate or wild or messy, so you try to keep it under wraps and sort of censor yourself. But you're actually crazy passionate about this particular topic or this particular kind of thing. And when you talk about it, it comes out like you want to get excited, you want to be a little wild, you want to throw in some curse words. I don't know. So connect to those passions. Let them fuel you and drive you and direct you in how you communicate. Your life will start to organize around them. It's pretty cool. That's what totally happened with me and my business. People started to tell me that when I talked about voice and speaking, my whole face, my whole body would light up. I didn't even know it was happening, right? I just let myself talk about this thing that I had no idea where it was going to take me. At the time I didn't have any work related to it, right? But I just was talking about it. And then it became a career over time through being recognized for this thing that is actually super exciting to me. I could have totally talked myself out of that. Like a good girl needs to make money. right? And who in their right mind is going to make money with voice work and theater training? But that's what I love. That's what I like go crazy for. I'm a total geek for it. So lean into your passions. Yeah. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, focus on relationships with people and connections with people. Instead of, and this is a subtlety, instead of on your own shortcomings, right? So that's self focus, or on their approval. So I want you to focus on relationships and connection without worrying about their approval. Again, that's a subtle line. But if I focus on connection, I'm just there making sure that you're getting what I'm saying. I'm super passionate about this. What do you think? We're bouncing it off of each other, which brings our power levels to equal. You and I have the same amount of power. Yeah, we're both valuable. We're both respected. When you approach things like that, perfectionism goes out the window because it's about me and this person. If there's 10,000 people in the audience, same deal. It's me and these 10,000 people having a conversation right now. It's not about if I'm doing well or if they like me or what I think I'm good at or not good at. It's just like we're in a moment. We are in a moment. We're creating a moment together. Okay, and number three, last one is really important. I want you to define what good means to you. Define what good means to you now. You learned something that it meant a long time ago, but here you are now as an adult woman with life experiences. You've developed your own values. You have your own life situation. What does good mean to you? If a good presentation to you means speaking about something that you're super passionate about, lean into that. If doing a good presentation means that everybody is on the same page about your research, go for that. If good means that everybody's looking at you and you want to make sure that you have their eye contact and engagement, focus on that. You decide what good means. If good means just getting through it, because really there's more important things that you want to focus on, let that be good. Yeah. There is no objective good when it comes to communication. It is all gray. And that is a great thing. That is such good news. It gives you so much leeway, so much room to play, right? And be yourself from one good girl to another. I'm really glad we got to talk about this and unpack the good girl conditioning a little bit. Thank you, good girl, for all that you've done for me. I really appreciate it, and I'll take it from here. Go out and speak to inspire. Thanks for listening. This has been She Speaks to Inspire with Julia Kraft, your authentic expression mentor and public speaking coach. I'm so glad you joined me, and I hope you got so much out of this episode. If you want to learn more about Speak to Inspire training programs and get inspired, head over to speaktoinspire.com or follow us on Instagram at She Speaks to Inspire. Never forget, the world needs your voice, and it's time for you to speak to inspire. See you in the next episode.